How's it going, everyone? I'm here with my friend Kevin, and he's trying to become a radiological technician. He just got into the program. How you doing, Kevin?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm doing great today. Actually, I just finished studying actually for a final that I have on Thursday.
Hey, man, congrats
It's
on.
the final
Yeah,
before
oh,
I start the program. So
hey, at least the semester's almost over. Mine's almost done
yeah,
too.
yep.
Man, congrats on getting into that radiological technology program. I mean, I know it's tough, but I know
Appreciate
you
it.
could
Yep.
do it though.
It's really competitive. Like a lot of students got turned down just because they had A minuses. So you have to really be a straight A student. But it's doable as long as you just study and you continue to do what you need to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's a competitive field. I mean, just like my major's
Yeah.
competitive. But I do have a couple questions for you. What made you want to become a radiological technician or getting into this programs?
Well, originally I always looked into it when I was younger. When I was like 25, I was looking into that and doing computer science, do coding. But unfortunately, when I turned 26, I ended up getting diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. That ended up having to forcing me to switch up my plans. That ended up making me do something where I had to pretty much get good insurance within the job, and something that you don't get in the computer science field, the coding field, you don't necessarily get the best offers for insurance. That's something that I need just for my own personal health. So it was always between those two, and I think it was just a no-brainer after a while. It was just like great pay, I'm into it, and most importantly, the insurance is there, so it takes care of me and my health and my family as well.
Yeah, I mean, for me specifically, I also work in a hospital right now, and one thing I can say is the insurance is great. So being in that MRI radiological technology field, I mean, it definitely has great benefits and, like you mentioned, great pay. And I'm pretty sure like they love doing it. I mean, it's an easy, well, not easy, but it's an enjoyable job, and
Yeah,
people enjoy it. The
it's
next
easy. I
question
would
I
say it's
do have,
easy as long as
yeah,
you. I would say it's easy as long as you enjoy learning about it.
yeah.
Because then I think that goes for anything. As long as you enjoy learning about something, always gonna feel easy because you're enjoying it. So you're actually taking the time to study, which feels like, oh, this is easy. Which is something that I noticed in this field compared to when I was studying to do coding. Coding was a little bit dreadful.
Yeah.
There were days where I wanted to, there were days I didn't want to, and I found it a little bit more difficult. So once I switched over to this, that's when I knew, yeah, this is what I want to do.
Yeah, I thought about doing coding too, but I mean, I've seen those YouTube videos and I'm like, it looks fun, the money's well, but I think I'll just do something else that I would probably enjoy more. That
Yeah,
pay maybe less, maybe more amount of money. That that I'll leave that for the
definitely.
coding people.
Right, right.
I mean, so with that program that you mentioned, did you have any issues getting into a program? Because I know you mentioned like even if you have an A minus, they wouldn't let you in, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I had one A minus. It was only one. Thankfully, the A minus was in possibly the easiest class, English. But everything else, I was able to get A's, which they mostly look at math,
Yeah,
biology, physiology and anatomy. Excuse me,
yeah,
physiology and anatomy. They call it Bio 230, and then there's a second level to that, which would be physiology and anatomy two, which they call it Bio 240. Those are so Bio 230, Bio 240, and the I forgot what was the math class called, but it's the more advanced math class. Those are the three that they look at mainly, and I was able to score, an A in all three of those. So I was able to be interviewed because they do interview you before they accept you into the program,
yeah.
and they want to get to know you. They want to get to know pretty much like your background. I spoke about myself. I spoke about what made me make this decision. Things like me needing to go to medical school because of my health, me like actually gaining an interest because of my health, because I had so many MRIs done to me. It caught my attention. I always wondered, oh, this is interesting, injecting contrast, things like that. And it just, it caught my attention. So it was one of those type of things that was like the process was tough, you could say, because of the grades. But I feel like once you're in, you're in.
I mean, it's funny you mentioned biology because I remember when I was in community college, like, and I took biology and I noticed the difference between high school biology and community college biology, and
Yeah.
I probably didn't want to continue that class, but I got a low C. But I would have that I took that with pride. Like it's like an
Well, yeah,
A in any other class.
that's why I say you have to be into it. You have to be interested. Like once you're interested, once you actually want it, you start finding it fun, and that's what made it really easy. Because there were a lot of people. Don't get me wrong. There were a lot of people that struggle. A lot of people that were just getting like 50, 60% on their exams, and it came down to just a lot of them just weren't really committed. They weren't ready for this. They weren't expecting it to be as tough as it was. But as long as you just put your all into it, I think anyone can do it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, you did mention commitment. So with that commitment, what license or certifications do you need to get this job or get into this program?
Well, first you have to get what they call an ARRT, which is American Registry of Radiological Technology, which you get that just by completing the program. You also have to take an exam to be certified. Um, First you start with that, with just doing x-rays. So what's within the program is you start with x-rays, then you can expand into doing CT, or some call it CAT scans,
Yeah,
and after that you can also get yourself into doing MRIs, which is what I personally am interested in. I've had it done to me a lot of times, but so for MRIs I would need to get another certification to it's pretty much called an MRI certification. It's just to do the MRIs themselves. You take another exam. This is like after you graduate and you're already an X-ray technician and things like that. And then you also have to get a license to inject contrast as well. So that's, there's steps to it. But
yeah,
once you finish the program, you're already, you're registered to be able to do the job. You would just have to take an exam pretty much to be registered to do the MRs, and then for the contrast injections as well. And there's also, I almost forgot to mention, there's also the regular just CPR, things that you need to know, like any other nurse, like any healthcare worker,
yeah. I
actually.
was CPR certified too. I
Yeah,
got
yeah, yeah. So you need to have things like that, like the basics plus, what counts for the job.
yeah. I mean, it was nice talking to you. I mean, do you have a message out there for someone who's viewing this who maybe lost, doesn't know what to do, maybe they want to go to school, maybe they had the same issue as you, or maybe they just love doing X-rays or MRIs?
I would say just go to school, be ready to study. Don't, whatever you do, don't try to push things off. Just go when the professor tells you to study, study, learn it, do what you have to do, and believe me, it all works out in the end. It's really easy as long as you just study and do what you need to do. Follow through with what your advisor tells you to do. Apply to everything that you need to apply to. Take the classes you need to take. As long as you do that, you can. It's only 2 semesters, so it'll be 1 year of prerequisition classes, and once you apply, they'll accept you for the next year. For me, it'll be I started in the spring, then I have the the fall, excuse me, the fall right now that I'm taking. I also had to take a writing intensive classes. You have to take a couple of requirements, but once you get past that,
Yeah,
and then you do your interview and they get you into the program, you're good to go. So I would just say just work hard at it and just commit to it. You really have to commit to it. But as long as you do, just committing to it, you'll be fine. You'll be more than fine.
yeah, Kevin. I definitely took notes. I mean, thanks for being on the podcast, man. I mean, you taught me a lot, and hopefully, someone out there sees this and definitely follows that path and
Yeah, most
knows that
definitely.
there's someone out there that that they can relate to and could definitely succeed in life being a radiological technician.
Oh, sorry about that one.
Right. But man, thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Right.
All right, take care, my brother.
You too, man.